We went on strike for safe staffing. Nurses are leaving the profession in droves due to burnout. The young nurses, if you give them 6 patients, 2 patients in ICU, that should be 1-to-1, the ED 1-to-9, 1-to-8. It's driving them away. We need safe staffing. We at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital Nurses Unit want to be the one to lead the nation, or the state of New Jersey, not the nation. California and Oregon and Pennsylvania are on board with this. But the #1 reason for leaving is understaffing. Please help us to help our patients. Right now, the nurses in there have a better ratio than we do. It's 1 to 2 patients, 1 to 3 patients, a maximum of 1 to 4. We have never heard of that in my 28 years in Robert Wood Johnson. They have resource nurses. They have everything walking around. We're just asking for basic, safe staffing. I'd like to turn it over now to Assemblyman Joe Danielsen and thank him for coming, and everybody else. Thank you.
You all look beautiful. I have to say that I never knew the nurses were unionized with the steelworkers, which doesn't surprise me because you are made of steel. You hold up this building more than the steel does. Well, I'd like to thank you. If you're a visitor, thank you for coming and visiting my home district of 17, centered here in New Brunswick. I believe we can agree on a few facts of life. In addition to death and taxes, there's a fact is that when you were born, you were probably in a place where there was a nurse at your side. And on your last day, there will probably be a nurse at your side. On your best days and your worst days, there will probably be a nurse at your side. So I'm going to change that old saying, the only thing in life that you can count on is there's a nurse at your side. My guardian angels, all of you. Now, my mom raised a fool, the fool of all fools. Luckily, that was my brother. Because I know nurses are the chariots sent from heaven to us. Why would anyone want to make a nurse sad? Or why would anyone want to make a nurse question if he or she should come to work that day? Now, I understand we live in the realities of economics, and your pay and benefits and work environment will be part of that consideration. So I contemplate that process only and first by remembering what I observed of nurses. I've watched you heroes during COVID. I've been in the emergency room too many times. I've been in the surgery room, the x-ray room, the CAT scan room. I've been in the cath lab, and unfortunately my family lived in the Children's Cancer Center right across the street for almost a year. And I learned a valuable lesson from the nurses in that center. Those nurses, probably true for all of you, but those nurses lived in increments of seconds or minutes. Whereas if they couldn't cure that child, they could make the next 5 seconds or 5 minutes or 5 days better for that child. And you all do that for all of your patients. There's a special place in heaven for all of you. That's not something you were taught in nursing school, nor is it part of your job description, but it is a description of your souls. I can only imagine what it's like for you nurses to go home every day. I know that the road for a nurse runs from the tears of birth and joy to the tears of pain and loss every single day. and a nurse should not be forced to bring those tears home. I know what nurses do. Sadly, I know. I know what makes a good nurse and what that nurse means. I know the value of a good nurse, and I know what you do. I know that you love the people. You love it every single day, and you should be shown that same love by your employer. I'm not going to pretend I know the details of your negotiations, but it certainly must be at a point where you had to walk outside and demonstrate here. I came here today to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing in that building and out of this building. Because I support you. Mostly, and on a personal level, my family wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for you beautiful nurses. God bless every one of you.
Hello, USW. My name is Rebecca Damon, and I am the Executive Director, not just for New York SAG-AFTRA, but for Labor Policy and International Affairs. And it is my honor to be here today with you and the New Jersey AFL-CIO. Nobody nobody ever says what I want to do is go on strike. People go on strike when they are not being treated fairly. People go on strike when they are worried about the safety of their patients. People go on strike because they know that they deserve to have a living wage and fair benefits for what is some of the most hardest work that any single person could do on this planet. When you think about what a nurse does, it's not just, hey, we are so grateful for what you did when the pandemic. It's not that we were grateful for you being by our sides and coming to work when nobody else, when all of us just wanted to stay at home. You came out for your patients. You came out for your community. You came out for this hospital. And now is a moment where we need to come out for you. We are here today, SAG-AFTRA, standing in solidarity with the USW for a fair contract. Because what do we want? Contracts. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Contracts. When do we want them? Now. You guys deserve a fair contract, and we will stand with you in this. Thank you all for being here today.
Wow, how impressive is it? You guys are doing such a great job. It's such an honor to be here. You know, as we're here with SAG-AFTRA, I have to say I love what Fran Drescher says, right? I love what Fran Drescher says. She was taught never to cross a picket line. I love that line because it reminds me of my family, my grandfather. I remember when he was working for the UAW would say, no scabs. And I remember saying to my mom, what's a scab? So it's great to be here with all of you today. Such an honor. What a fantastic tribute to our nurses from Assemblyman Danielsen. Wow, that really. Really amazing. And as I sit here, as I see all of you, as I see the power of all of you out here today, it feels so good to know that you've got our back here in New Jersey. You've got our back. You had our back through COVID. You all had my back when I had my 4 kids. You had my family's back when my grandfather was at the end of his life. You've had all of our family's backs, as you've heard, as we've gone through some of the toughest days of our lives. is because of you that so many people were able to make it through those tough days. And now as I stand here, I want you to know that we have your back.